Hey there, Justin from Ujoint Off-Road in Colorado here again. Got an interesting opportunity here that I thought of about an hour and a half into my road trip I'm on right now. This one is for our good customer Michael. We are handling all the pickup and drop-off logistics for him on his, and I'm in the process of bringing this from our shop in Montrose back to him in Huntington Beach. And I actually also picked this thing up for him in Portland, or just outside Portland, and brought it back to our shop. So I thought this was an interesting opportunity to, both highlight our services for helping with pickup and drop-off, because that is one thing that I hear a lot from customers or potential customers is a big barrier for them is the logistics of making a project like this happen from scratch. You know, say you're a guy like Michael here who lives in Southern California but bought a van in Portland for a shop in Southern Colorado to convert, and you just had a baby a few weeks ago. How are you going to do all this? And that is the exact situation that Michael is in here. So what we do for folks to help make that part easier is, for a small fee, we'll help you find the right rig. We'll actually go pick it up, make sure it's legit, make sure it's a good one in person, put my hands on it, and then if it's all good, we can help broker the deal, make everything happen in person, then get it delivered back to our shop, either myself or one of my guys, and then build it for you, and then get it delivered home to you if you'd like. So anyways, what we've got here is Michael's late model. I think it's a 2013, 2014. Didn't look at the door sticker before I jumped out. But it's classic U-joint build, 5.4 extended body. I'll go through the full build once we get to our landing spot in Southern California. I'm gonna stop in and see some friends there, get this thing cleaned up after the road trip before we deliver it to Michael. And then along the way, I'm hoping to also take the opportunity to share or try and convey through video some of the driving characteristics of a van build like this, so you can hopefully see what it's all about. We've got a classic Southwest road trip ahead of us. We're just outside of Dolores, Colorado. All the aspen trees are starting to bloom. See the little buds. Beautiful time of year. So thought I'd bring you all along, stop in at some of the sites. We'll be traveling through Navajo Nation, driving through all our beautiful red rock canyons. So we'll bring you along for the ride. I hope you enjoy this. Morning, welcome back. We are in the middle of the Mojave Desert. We've already got several hours underway this morning, and last night as I was getting ready to head out onto the Ute reservation and the Navajo reservation, I just quickly Googled whether or not you're allowed to film for promotional purposes on the reservation. And the answer is you are not. So I did not film anything. Brings up a good point. A lot of you watching are travelers, you're going to be out adventuring around this summer coming up. This is being filmed in the spring of 26. We've got major fire restrictions in place, more than likely in southern Colorado this year. We're like getting ready to have a historical drought. So just a heads up for anybody looking to travel to the area. You know, that probably includes most of the desert Southwest. So just something to keep in mind as you travel this year. But for right now, we're out here at the Mojave Preserve, right off historic Route 66. Van's clicking off miles great. This thing's a road trip machine. So we're doing 70, 80 miles an hour, no problem at all. One finger on the steering wheel. Got a couple tanks of gas in it. We're averaging about 10.5 miles per gallon between both of those tanks, which is pretty standard for most of our rigs. So, very pleased with it so far. We're gonna head to a friend's shop in Costa Mesa next. Get all the road grime off this thing. We hit a little weather. Got her flexed out a little bit there. Pretty out here. Actually was born not too far from here in Apple Valley, California, out in the Mojave Desert. All right, check back once we reach our destination. All right, we have arrived. So we're down here at my buddy Mike Stanceworks garage. This is pretty much the reason why I like to deliver out to Southern California. Give me a good excuse to come by here and pay him a visit. So we just got this all washed up. It's quite handy. He's sponsored by Ujoint Detailing Products, which are like some of the best in the world. So stopped by here, rinsed some of the road grime off. And right there. But in case you're unfamiliar with Mike, this is what he's working on. So he's work in progress right now, but what this is a all original body F40 that is getting a Ferrari V12 in the back. So sorry, I'm doing my best to keep some secret stuff out of the shot here. But Mike has a very cool shop. If you follow along with me on social, you've seen that last summer we went out racing with him. He's got a 308 as well with a Honda K motor in the back of it. So me and Mike are old friends. I like to come out here and see him whenever I can. So that brings us to the van. This is our buddy Michael. He lives down in Huntington. So we're gonna be dropping off this at his doorstep here shortly. So what this is, it's a 2013 5.4 extended body, classic Oxford white. So like I was saying earlier, we did go up and pick this one up in Portland for him, make sure it was all good to go, and then drove it all the way back. It did sit around for a little while, but then we went ahead and did all the conversion work to it. So it's a little bit higher mileage rig, and he got a good deal on it for that reason. And I'll tell people, you know, if they're looking for the right deal on something, to not worry about mileage too much on 5.4 rigs, because we're rebuilding the transmission anyways with the conversion. So a little higher mileage. He's on the other side of 100,000, but was well taken care of. The transmission seemed good, so no problems at all. So he came in for the standard 6-inch 4-wheel drive conversion. Oops, sorry about that. He went for the AccuTune custom valve shocks. As you can see, we cleaned up and painted the frame everywhere. Up front, to save him a little bit of money, we went with a stock housing axle build. I call this a stage 2. So stock housing, it's got a Detroit True Track in the front though. And we went with 488 gears on this one. This one's got all the factory steering, and we went ahead and did the SpinTech front hub conversion on this, because this is an RSC van, so you got to do the SpinTech to keep that happy. So we do have serviceable wheel bearings, and we have stock F350 truck brakes. For the wheels, we got a Method 701, our favorite, with a 35-1250 Falcon Wild Peak AT4. This is our favorite wheel and tire combo. This setup right here, I think, is probably one of my favorite to drive, the 5.4 488s with 35s. Just to give you some info from the road trip, we did wind up at 11 miles per gallon average for the whole trip. And as far as gear ratio goes, that's a lot of question I get a lot is, you know, different cruise RPMs for everything. So at 70 miles an hour, this thing was running rated about 2,400 RPM with 488 gears, 35-inch tires. So just about perfect, plenty of power. So it's got the FB004 tube style front bumper. We got a Warn VR12S winch, front receiver. Then the Anderson plug gets hooked up. It doesn't have our onboard air, no lights. Kept it pretty Spartan. He's gonna do a lot of that stuff himself, I think. We did add bushwhacker fender flares. I had a set aside for him that predated them being obsolete, but we should have more news on that shortly. Got our side steps added. These help a lot getting in and out. Inside, not much going on, just the four-wheel drive indicator. And then we've got our disconnect shifter with the aux locker shifter handle for the rear axle. Down underneath, the 4R75 came out for a full rebuild and upgrade to four-wheel drive. Got an NV271 transfer case added, shortened fuel tank, and then 1350 CV front and rear drive shafts. Just stock truck sway bar in the front with our direct mount links. Out back, the semi-float 60 came out. Got a full rebuild, re-gear to 488, and then we added the aux cable locker in the back. And of course, our all-arch springs. You can see the AccuTune custom valve shocks in the rear to match as well. Then our standard AccuTune heavy-duty shackles that we do on every conversion now. We got all new brakes, pads, rotors in the back as well. On the rear, just added the old school luminous tire carrier to get them someplace to carry a spare. And then up on the top, we did our extended body half flooring rack. You can't really see the half flooring from here, but it's up there. There you go. So very cool, extremely classic U-joint build. Came out super cool. Just did 12 hours across the desert with it. Drives like a dream. So hopefully this video is something a little different. Shake it up a little bit. Give you a little insight on how these rigs drive and some of the more common questions I get, like fuel economy and cruising RPM and stuff like that. So hopefully that stuff helps. Michael and his family are anxiously awaiting this thing down at their house. So I'm gonna get on the road and get this returned back to them. So if you got any questions for me, please email justin@ujointoffroad.com. If you're inquiring about a DIY kit or an install in North Carolina, please email chris@ujointoffroad.com. Thank you.